demote everybody. Go into my server and say demote everybody. That's what we gotta do right now. We gotta go and do that right now. We gotta demote everybody down to the guards role right now in the Oatmeal World Discord server. We gotta go make this happen and drain the swamp. We gotta do a great reset. We gotta drain everybody down. Everybody's too high for the most part. We gotta really demote everybody down to lower roles like the guards role. We got really gotta do that. We need new management. So this is the new oatmeal challenge. This is the oatmeal challenge. Can you do the oatmeal challenge? The oatmeal Joey Arnold at Joey Arnold VN challenge. Can you do it? I don't think anybody can do it. Not a lot of people can do it. You probably can't do it, man. Let's go do it. Can you do it, man? Operation demote everybody down to the guards role. Everybody except 5 people. Not a lot of people got through this far into the video. Not a lot of people would. Most of the time, not a lot of people would. That's why I'm always taken out of context most of the time. Most of the time, people take me out of context because people don't really listen to everything I say, everything I do, and everything, and try to figure out what I'm trying to say. Nobody has the time. Nobody should. Probably. Maybe. Actually, I disagree with that. But seriously, it's like nobody really. But I'm serious about how a lot of people should be demoted down to the guards role, except for 5 people. Which 5 people is the question, but not a lot of people are listening to what I'm trying to say. You should hop into my server and say, demote everybody and then leave. That would be really funny, but not a lot of people are going to do that. Not a lot of people are going to do that. If you're hearing this, if you're watching this, you should probably do that. Click on the link. There's a link on my link tree. That's right. And you can find it and you can click on it and join my server. There's a lot of people who say they don't know how to join my server, even though it's really easy because there are links all over the place, all over the internet, on my social media, on my blog, all over the place. Or you can Google it, man. You can Google it. A lot of people can Google it. A lot of people could Google it. Not a lot of people do. If you're listening, you can probably do it. You can probably go to my server for a second. You don't have to do it for all day. It'll only take you 5 seconds. Hop into my Discord server and say, man, that's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta say to win this project. What are the goddamn rewards? Man, I don't know, man. But that's all you gotta do is go into my server and say, demote everybody. Man, hop into my server and say, demote everybody. Man, can you do that? Man, can you do that? Can you do that for me? All I want for Christmas is for you to do that, man. Let's do that for Christmas 2024. That's this current year. Me, Oatmeal Joey Arnold, on this 8th day, this Sunday, the 8th of December 2024. Let's make it happen. Let's do project demote everybody except for 5 people, man. Can we make this happen? It sounds like a joke. Not a lot of people can understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm really trying to say, most of the time, this has been true. Most of the time, the past, how many years? 40 years or something, people have been in this situation, especially in my life, where people have no idea what I'm trying to say. People have no idea what I'm trying to say. Like, people they really don't know what I'm trying to say. Man, do you really know what I'm trying to say? Man, do you really know? A lot of the trolls take over the server, man. We need new management to take over the server, man, because a lot of people have roles that are too high. A lot of people are not qualified for a lot of the roles. A lot of people just get promoted up and then they promote their friends or whoever they feel like promoting. They don't really think about it. A lot of people don't really think about it and they just do it for fun. And some people join my server just to make fun of me and stuff, and some people stumble upon it. It seems like, for the most part, the server has nothing to do with me, and I hope that changes. And I also created a new community, a new group on Twitter. It's called Oatmeal World, and so somebody also created a little group on Reddit called Oatmeal World, or it's just a thread. But that's not very important because I don't think anybody is going to be really on there. And but you can do whatever you want. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of people can do what they want. You can do what you want, man. But here is the time to try to do what you want. But you can imagine this is how oatmeal fake news spread. When I say stuff, a lot of people don't really listen to everything that I say. When I say something and it's taken out of context. Now, sometimes it's part of my doing. Sometimes I'm responsible. Sometimes I'm a little bit responsible. Sometimes because when I say stuff, it's in context to everything else that I've ever said and done, and it's not all together, and so you kind of have to like read between the lines a little bit. You kind of have to look at everything I've ever said and kind of like compare the notes, compare everything that I've ever said, everything that I've ever said. Whenever I say something, it's like it's part of a really long thread. It's like a Twitter thread, except it's cross-platform because I may be saying stuff all over the place, and I may say a little bit here and a little bit there, and it's really, really difficult to follow, even though I try to put it all in one place, but it's not always in one place, and I'm trying to put it all in one place, but I'm trying to say a bunch of things, and I've said so many things the past 40 years online, almost 40 years, like saying all these things, but it's all spread out all over the internet, and so I might start an idea, a thought online somewhere, and I might say a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you have to go and put it all together like a puzzle to try to figure out what I'm trying to say, because I don't always say everything all in one place. I don't always say everything all the time in one place, all at the same time. Like, I really don't always do that as I get older. I try to do that a little bit more, but if you look back in my history, I didn't always do that. And then I did a bunch of other stuff too. Sometimes I did a little bit of satire sometimes, and hyperbole and trolling and a bunch of stuff, and I still do that a little bit, but I used to do it probably a little bit more, and it's just like it's really difficult to follow me sometimes, and so no wonder why people think I'm pretty crazy, because there were times that it's been really, really difficult to really follow me and try to figure out what I'm trying to say, man, because I was all over the internet, and I was like, I might say something on YouTube, and then say something on Facebook, and then say something on Twitter, and then say something on Instagram, and then say something on Rumble, and then say something on other websites and social media and apps, and you got to put it all together, because it's like you got to try to figure out what does it mean, but you got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you got like you're trying to listen to what I'm trying to say. You can't just take one little quote, one little screenshot, one little soundbite, and be like, oh look, Oatmeal said this one little thing, because it's like you don't know if I'm quoting somebody. You don't know if it's satire. You don't know if it's parody. You don't know if it's a variety of different things all happening all at once, because I've been guilty of trolling people and clickbait and a bunch of different things, advertising and spamming and all this different stuff, and I don't always tell people what I'm doing. I don't always tell people, am I trolling, am I not trolling, am I sprinkling a little bit of truth here and there, am I trying to make a point, what am I trying to do, what am I trying to say? Does anybody know? Does anybody realize? Not a lot of people do, but as I work on my autobiography, I try to tell people what really happened, the truth behind the story, but not a lot of people are going to really, really want to listen to my side of the story. I'm not saying that you should, but if you really want to listen to it, you got to listen to the whole story, because it takes a really long time to really tell my side of the story. As I get older, I'm going to try a little bit harder to tell my side of the story. Now, in some sense, there's not a lot to really tell. And I'm trying to make that point apparent. As I make videos and articles and my autobiography over the years, I try to get better at it. I try to be more purposeful. I try to pronunciate my words a little more. I try to be more clear. I try to be more accurate. But that's not always going to do the job. That's not always going to get the job done to try to overcome the mess of the past, the OSHA wall, so to speak. It's really difficult to really get past all of it, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stuff that happened. And whether it was my fault or not, it happened. It happened. A lot of things happened, but it's really difficult to really understand. And it's just really, really difficult. And I do got oatmeal world. I got an oatmeal world. I got this Discord server, and I'm looking for the heirs of the oatmeal. I don't know. There's a lot of super duper heirs of the oatmeal. There's kind of like there's a few casual fans out there, and they're kind of cool. And some of them end up in my Discord server. A lot of them, they just go there to hang out. But some of them might be casual fans, and some of them get higher roles. A lot of people in my server get roles that are too high, And that's why we should probably demote everybody to guards except 5 people. Which 5 people is a question. Not a lot of people have watched this video all the way through, and my other, videos, like my 10-hour videos, like I got thousands of hours of content and over 40 channels on YouTube that a lot of people know about. To be continued.